Alrighty guys, we're back for some hot oil, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're going to go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Red Cat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do got that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in this mono red build, huh? Well, we got 4 Cacophony Scamp. This card is pretty powerful, guys. It's a 1 mana 1/1, and when it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, proliferate. Not bad, but check this out. When Cacophony Scamp dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. Now it's just ridiculous, right? It helps you close up games quite nicely, and yeah, it does a lot. It puts in a lot of work. Got 3 Churning Reservoir here, a 1 mana artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, put an oil counter on another target non-token artifact or creature you control. Then, for 2 mana, you can tap it, create a 1/1 red Phyrexian Goblin creature token. Activate only if an oil counter was removed from a permanent you controlled this turn, or a permanent with an oil counter on it was put into the graveyard this turn. So, not half bad. Got 4 Exuberant Fuselings here, a 1 mana 0/1 trample. And it gets +1/+0 for each oil counter on it. And then whenever Exuberant Fuseling enters the battlefield, and whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, put an oil counter on Exuberant Fuseling. This gets pretty stacked pretty fast. It's easy to get a lot of counters onto this, especially if you're pumping it up with the reservoir as well. So we also have 3 Free from Flesh here. This is a 1 mana instant speed. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Put 2 oil counters on it. Not half bad, guys. We got 4 Kumano faces Kakkazan because it's incredible, huh? And the extra counter on Chapter 2 works well with the proliferate on the Scamp, and then also something on our top end as well. We have 4 Vindictive Flamestokers. This is a 1 mana 1/2, and whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an oil counter on Vindictive Flamestoker. Okay. So for 6 and a red, you can sack this, discard your hand, then draw 4 cards, and this ability costs 1 less to activate for each oil counter on Vindictive Flamestoker. It's not going to be hard to get this to a reasonable amount of mana to just draw 4 cards, especially when we have all these 1-drops. We're just laying out our whole hand anyways. So restocking our hand off of Flamestoker seems completely reasonable, huh? Okay, on to our 2-drops. We got a couple lightning strikes. It's pretty important to be able to hit the opponent's face, but also have early removal sometimes. For Bloodthirsty Adversary, it's going to do pretty well in here overall, especially with the extra proliferate if we ever get to use this ability as well. Also, just like the classic turn 1 Kumano into a turn 2 hasty Bloodthirsty Adversary is still very powerful. Abandon the post. This was a suggestion down in the comments, and I think it's going to be pretty good, honestly. So if we're running into a lot of Titan of Industries, Shieldrids, Vindicator, Obliterator, just like a lot of just incredible blockers, Abandon the Post might actually do something, guys. It's a 2 mana sorcery. Up to 2 target creatures can't block this turn, and that could easily help us wrap up a game. Also has flashback for 3 and a red, or you could always like bring it back off of a Bloodthirsty Adversary ability too, huh? Top end of the build, guys, we have 4 Urabrask's Forge. This is a 3 mana artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you put an oil counter on Urabrask's Forge. Then create an X1 red Phyrexian horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on Urabrask's Forge. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. We saw this put in a ton of work in the Rakdos deck. I think it's going to be equally as good here. I think it's going to pair beautifully with pretty much everything in the deck, but especially the cards with proliferate. And we have 4 Volt Charge in here. 3 mana instant speed, deals 3 damage to any target. Proliferate. Woo! Buddy, I think this is going to put in a good amount of work, and it's 3 mana, so it works with the Bloodthirsty Adversary being a 5-drop too. So very, very nice. Have a couple Forge on the board and then smack the opponent's face for 3 damage, proliferate on the Forge. That sounds insane, guys, huh? 23 total mana, 2 of them being the Monumental Facade here as well. One of them being Crucible of Defiance. Let's go over this new land real quick, huh? So this is a land sphere. That's neat, I guess, right? Enters the battlefield with 2 oil counters on it. can tap it for a colorless, or you can tap it to remove an oil counter from Monumental Facade, put an oil counter on target artifact or creature you control, activate only as a sorcery. So what's cool is that actually works with the bottom ability on the Reservoir too. Since this doesn't say non-land permanent, you could grab the oil counter off of the Monumental Facade, put it onto something else, and then activate that bottom ability on Reservoir. So that's pretty cool, huh? Or simple things like putting that extra counter on the Fuseling for an extra point of damage might actually go a long way. Couple honorable mentions over here, guys. The Filigree Silex, I don't know, man. It seems pretty good, and I keep bringing it up, but there actually might be something competitive mixed in all of these oil cards. I don't know exactly where it's going to land or what my favorite's going to be, but the Silex probably belongs somewhere, man. I don't know, honestly. The bottom ability is actually pretty aggressive, and in a deck like this, we can get so many oil counters on the board so fast. The Silex is easy to put extra counters on when you're rocking the Reservoir, so getting this up to like 4 or 5 mana to be able to clear up those big creatures from your opponents is easy, I guess, right? So definitely something to think about here. Magmatic Sprinter is a 3-mana 3/2 with haste, and when it enters the battlefield, you get to put 2 oil counters on target artifact or creature. So you could plug these into Urabrask Forge. Okay, that sounds cool, huh? But then at the beginning of your end step, return Sprinter to its owner's hand unless you remove 2 oil counters from it. So you could give it the oil counters to itself too, that way it doesn't bounce back. But either way, if it's bouncing back, you get to play it again. This card almost made the list. I couldn't find room for it, and having another 3-drop in here might slow the deck down pretty good. So yeah, not this time around, huh? Okay, guys, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, right into that first match, I see. So, what am I expecting from the deck? I don't know. I have no idea. I feel like every time I expect something, it always comes out the opposite. I feel like it's going to be pretty good, but I just have no clue. I really don't. I'm going to start with the Fuseling here over the Flamestoker. I don't know. I think either one could have been the 1-drop play, but I just kind of feel like Fuseling for some reason. Ooh, Kumano. Alright, we'll play everything. They're tapped out. I'm just going to play everything right now, get it over with. Generally speaking, if it doesn't affect the combat, you want to wait till main phase 2, but that's okay. Okay, so we could go Volt Charge, get Kumano right away next turn. Swift Spear, okay. So we actually can hit that Swift Spear if they tap out here. Hitting the Flamestoker. Okay, extra damage on Fuseling is good, though. Ooh, another Fuseling. Couple options, guys, honestly. I don't mind. I guess Fuseling number 2 and then Lightning Strike the Swift Spear is better than going Volt Charge to get Kumano. Because this gets us a counter. Also, sometimes, guys, it is good to play stuff before combat with, like, Fuseling and stuff, just in case one dies. Obviously, it's not going to die here, but yeah, just something to think about, I guess. And I don't think we keep the Lightning Strike open, either. I think we play it right now, so that way Swift Spear is out of here. How do you guys feel about that? Kumano flips next turn. The Proliferate on Volt Charge still seems pretty powerful here, but it's like they got some of the, whoa, it's a Virtuoso build. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting that at all. I was not expecting that at all. Alright, well, 1 red source available. We're gonna Volt Charge. I don't know what that 1 red source is, but let's Volt Charge at instant speed and get that swing and see where they block see like what they block with. See if they go for the etching. Is that it? Is that what they're going for? All right, all to face. All to face, guys. Submit 2. Down to 6. That's so much damage. Oh my goodness. Let's see if they can win this turn with Virtuoso. Honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised. They could drop a mana. Okay, they're getting the ball rolling here. Let's see it. Because they could drop a mana like Ancestral Anger number 2. It already has double strike, so they don't need to give it double strike. Yeah, Ancestral Anger number 2 comes down. Guys, I'm concerned. I think they can actually get there. So if I kept a blocker back, though, so they have 10 damage right now. Yep, they found the mana. Is it going to be an antagonize? No way, they didn't find it. Oh. Is it bad that I was kind of rooting for them to find it? Probably, I mean... It's probably just removal. Urabrask's Forge is fine, but honestly, just like a full swing. Get the Bloodthirsty Adversary down, full swing is equally as good, I would say. Because they need the removal for the Fuseling. If they do have removal for the Fuseling, they block really well here and then only take 2, and then we're in trouble. If it's not removal, then 6 gets through. Yeah, we have to risk it, guys. We have to take this risk, I think. I think this could easily be a Lightning Strike in a deck like this. You know, they got their play with fires already. Lightning Strike the Fusing. If not, 6 damage. So, I guess they could buff the... Oh, yeah, there you go, there you go. Now we do get an oil counter here, though. So they can buff the Virtuoso. Lorne's Escape, wow, cool. Pretty sweet, guys. We never get to see Boros Virtuoso. Still a... Oh, the first strike, because they got it up to a 3-3. Oh, we're in trouble. Oh, if I would have dropped Forge, then... Oh, lifelink on the Angel Fire Ignition. This is what I get for kinda sorta rooting for the opponent for a turn. That's 12 damage. They go back up to 16, and we're super dead, guys. Oh, buddy, I should have just played the Forge. Well, it wouldn't have mattered that much if they had the Angel Fire Ignition, huh? A good game opponent, man. We never get to see Virtuoso, and it's pretty funny that I thought it was mono red for some time there. Another play with fire, too. Wow. Yeah, we might as well swing it. Sacrifices itself. Yeah, with the Angel Fire Ignition's lifelink, I don't think there was actually going to be a way through, unless we could have found the extra damage sooner. Good game, opponent. Good game. That was a fun one. I think we got to see our deck do a lot there, too. The double Fuselings were kind of insane. I think their early removal on the Flamestoker was a really good play. Taking that out with the play with fire was a very good option from the opponent. What do you guys think? I think that was super important in that game. Not letting us restock our hand later on. That was cool, guys. What on earth? That was definitely an off-meta build, but... Alright, opponent, what you bringing to the table, buddy? Nice. Good hand, huh? Now, we do have 23 land, so only seeing 3 land last game that entire time. It's a little bit odd. So since we have the Flamestoker, I think we... since we have the Reservoir to play after the Flamestoker, I think we start with that. Well, starting to buff Fuselings would be fine too. Honestly, everything seems fine here. I'm gonna start with the Flamestoker though. So many good 1-drops that you just don't know where to begin. So we potentially just have some mono black over there. Now you never know. I mean, last game we thought it was mono red, so... Go for the swing. Yep, no blocks. Could still be a cut down easily. Alright. Attempt Fuseling number 1. Maybe. Fuselings are good to get down before combat because if the opponent likes to wait until combat to destroy something, you know? So you get those extra oil. Which means it might be an alright play to go second Fuseling here. Over extra benefit from Reservoir. I'm gonna go second Fuseling. Extra creatures is good against a deck that likes to remove all of your creatures. And then the proliferate on the Volt Charge. Same concept, man. If that's a cut down and they cut down the Flamestoker, then the Fuselings get that buff, so... It was probably just sticking because of the Evolved Sleeper, because they would have wanted to remove that beforehand. Second Sleeper hits the board, and that's pretty terrifying. We should probably take one out with the Volt Charge. Okay. 2 mana to get it to a 3/3. If we full swing. No. We do this before combat. Get that oil counter, proliferate everything. Submit 3. That scared me for a second. The Fuseling was still like a 1/1. I was like, did I miss something here? And now they can get this to a 2/2, but a trade here isn't that great. We'll keep Flamestoker back because that's going to be our... Okay. This is a pretty great trade for us, guys. I'd say overall, that trade leans towards us since Fuseling gets that extra oil too. Honestly, not terrible. Oh, Sheoldred. Why? Why do you exist, Sheoldred? Why? Okay, let's draw. Volt Charge not doing too much here until we actually, like, get a block through. Free from Flesh is terrific. Holy cow. Oops, did I just smack the control button for some reason? Why did I do that? No idea why I did that. So, Fuseling's good. Okay, how do we want to do this, guys? How do we want to do this? Can I go to my main phase now? Yeah, I hit full control opponent. I'm so sorry. Get Crucible down so we have Volt Charge and Free from Flesh open, I guess. I don't like the... I don't think they block. I don't like the swing with the Flamestoker, though, like, at all. So let's see what they do here. Like, yeah, so they take it. So maybe we just get extra damage through. Proliferate more. You know what? They're gonna protect their Sheoldred at all costs. Let's get a ridiculous amount of damage through here and then rely heavily on the Flamestoker draw. Down to 6. And this costs 2 mana. So we'll see, man. Back up to 8 because Sheoldred is ridiculous. The Exuberant Fuseling is now out of cut down range. I think we're in trouble. But at the same time, we've had really cool plays both of these games, huh? I don't think I've ever seen this pet before. That's a cool pet. Oh no. No. What do we do? Which one? Both of them seem so important. The draw and Flamestoker. If we get rid of Fuseling, this could be a cut down. I think we have to get rid of Flamestoker. Because we can't let a cut down hit, and the Fuseling might actually... Oh no, a mountain! No! That's so bad. That's so bad, guys. Unless we draw like a Bloodthirsty Adversary next turn. They don't know what's in our hand. So they're probably finally going to block with Shieldred, but we can't swing at the Liliana because it's like too late. You know what I mean? Oh, Reservoir can get a token this turn. It didn't have to be on the board to do that, right? I'm pretty sure it still works. Okay, good. I got scared for a second that it actually had to see that happen, but just getting an extra token is fine. Opponent's down to 6. They gained 4 life from the Shieldred so far. Okay, they tap out here. I'll tell you what, guys, Bloodthirsty Adversary off the top ends this game. We have 4 Bloodthirsty Adversaries, so let's see it. Let's beat Mono Black, huh? Ooh, Urabrask's Forge, that's a good one. Very nice. We also still... I guess we just swing face, yeah. I guess we, yeah, every turn we swing face. That's important. Let's see it, opponent. Invoke Despair number 2 and let us hit that Bloodthirsty Adversary off the top. See, this is where like the Flamestoker would have been incredible to just draw those 4, but getting that Shieldred off the board was so important. Oh, Lifelink's rough. Lifelink is definitely rough. They go for the discard. That's good for us, I guess. Well, we'll see what we see. Kumano. Cool. Okay. They can corrupt Bankbuster. Wow, that was those were really good last cards. I guess we'll swing at Liliana this time because they're gonna corrupt Bankbuster. I don't think it matters too much. They're not gonna gain the 3 from the Flesh Gorger until they swing next turn. So their top deck matters, dude. I really do. I think their top deck matters. Then again, yeah, Urabrask's Forge is gonna get an extra oil from the Churning Reservoir. They get to draw off of the Bankbuster too. Oh, another Flesh Gorger. Oh no. Oh, that's what I get for winning so much in yesterday's video. We played Bant Rot Priest, and I was just like, I was shocked by the amount that we won. Second Flesh Gorger's terrible, guys. They get to like corrupt Bankbuster again too if they really needed to. Our top deck really matters. If we can still find... Oh, it's a land. It's a land, guys. I don't think we want to drop any land here. We have 23, and we really do want to see the 5 for the Bloodthirsty Adversary every now and then, so... Urabrask's Forge 5-1. This really, really, really could have gone either way. So that makes me a little happy. It is good to see that the deck is more than capable. So something I could have done earlier, if we didn't want their Shieldred to go bye-bye, we could have drawn with the Flamestoker. They go for the block because they don't know it's in hand. You know what? That's probably the best bet. Yeah, play it super safe. They only have... Wait, now that their Bankbuster's gone, they only have 6 on the board here. Huh. Well, we might as well play this. Yeah, they had lethal with the Bankbuster, but now they don't. They're going to go back up to 12. Oh, Shieldred off the top. Dude, GG, opponent. Wow. That is rough. Would we have been able to... Oh, Volt Charge. Wow. Wow, that would have been... Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, guys. Oh. Oh, the Urabrask's Forge is going to be 8 after the combat there. Wow, that really could have been anyone's game. Like, they needed to see the Shieldred there. Wow, dude. Okay, I'm a little bit taken aback, honestly. I keep bringing it up, I know, and I've said it multiple times in these oil videos, but there's something with these oil cards, dude. We gotta find the right configuration or something. Like, the oil cards just seem kind of ridiculous sometimes. It's an alright hand. I mean, as long as we don't draw too much mana here. Like, there's a lot of 1-drops to draw, guys. Like, a lot of 1-drops. So I have faith that we'll see something. Is this soldiers? I'm scared. I'm scared, guys. It's like I said, we won so much. And as a matter of fact, the last couple of videos, I always record my videos in advance. I try to get 3 videos done every time I sit down. And so you can only activate this as a sorcery, and I'm actually gonna do it. Actually gonna do it. Get a little extra counter on the Fuseling is fine there. Yeah, anyway, so the first video I recorded today was Big Gruel Oil, and that did pretty good. We won all the matches against Mono Black, which was awesome. Then, yeah, the Bant list just was ridiculous. We played 7 matches total, won 6 of them with the Bant list, and so, I mean, we were overdue for some losses, and so I'm not blaming the deck here. I'm really not. More land. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. That's gross. Wonder if they trade here. Wonder. Take the 2. Free from Flesh is pretty good, but I think we gotta remove the Thalia, and we're gonna keep it open for their turn in case they just go like Brutal Cathar. We have so much mana that the Thalia doesn't even seem worth it, honestly. Maybe we should have kept this as a blocker for Sentinel. It felt like a Brutal Cathar incoming soon, though. Maybe not. Nothing to hit in the grave. I guess we'll hit Thalia. That way we can maybe do 2 things next turn. Maybe. It's 2 less damage as well. It honestly, if it were any other match, it wouldn't be a terrible idea just to hit base there. But yeah, getting rid of that Thalia seems relatively important, I guess. Recruitment Officer, 2 mana open. Okay, nothing for the 2 mana Urabrask Forge number 2, and not the greatest card to get against soldiers, but we might be able to keep up pace. I don't know. Keeping Fusing back as a blocker here seems relatively important. Extra damage would be fine too. Alright, we're gonna keep Free from Flesh in hand. I can't believe I'm doing this when they have 7 damage on the board and they can easily just buff it. But I think we're gonna die. And we're gonna take the risk that they don't have the buff for everything, because if they do find the buff, they could always double buff too. They could drop a Plains, drop a couple of the veterans. So like maybe if we squeeze a couple points of damage here, we can maybe be explosive enough. Well, we could still keep Fuseling as a blocker. We don't have to be super. They could still drop a Valiant Veteran and a Lay Down Arms. I guess maybe swinging with the Fuseling still would have been fine. Because, like, there's still a good chance that they just have the removal and the buff anyways. And if they don't, go for the block. Huh. Really? Really? Nothing in hand? They go for the block. I should have swung. I really should have swung with this Fuseling, guys. This extra 3 damage from the Fuseling would have been potentially game-changing, but Cathar hits the Fuseling. Punished for not swinging, guys. Punished for not swinging. Oh no. Should have got that 3 damage through first, right? And the Sentinel taking everything from the grave, losing the lightning strike there, makes the Bloodthirsty Adversary so much worse because now we can't hit the Cathar to get the Fuseling back. Dude, we're gonna need to get this down as a blocker, but they still have 4. Oh no, hey Sentinel, really important key piece soldier for the opponent this game, huh? That was kind of cool, not gonna lie. So I guess we still get the blocker down anyways, because I guess, right? And we can't keep that around, it sacrifices, so we swing regardless. And then, yeah, they full swing to get the 4 through next turn. GG opponent, man. Hey, I'll tell you what, Bloodthirsty Adversary was a great draw there. Had we had the Lightning Strike in the grave, we'd still be in this. Which is kind of insane to think about. All of these matches, huh? We're kind of just like one step behind the opponents, but it also doesn't feel like it's the deck's fault necessarily. It kind of just feels like, you know, one of those days opponents are really having it. We're seeing our key cards 1 turn late, for example. Hold up, are they not gonna full swing here? No, they're gonna see it. They're gonna see that they have lethal. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, Sentinel, kind of like a forgotten soldier that not a lot of soldier builds run, but it really was a key piece of the opponent's deck here. Drop the good game, and we get to see how like Urabrask's Forge doesn't work terrific against like other creature builds, but overall, did we lose 3 times in a row? Uh-oh, guys. We're ranking down here. That's okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can get 1 or 2 more games in. The matches have been fast, and I think Hot Oil has something, guys. I think we can get there. Been finding these matches super fast, which is really nice. Let's see if we can redeem ourselves a little bit. We have so many of the new cards packed in here that we probably want to like find some other balance or something. This time I'm gonna start with a Fuseling over the Flamestoker. Last time I started with Flamestoker, dropped 2 Fuselings. This time we're gonna go Fuseling, drop Fuseling and Reservoir maybe. It's a green source, huh? I don't know what green would hit the Fuseling. Free from Flesh is pretty good here too, honestly. Which means Flamestoker would be better first, I guess. At that point, we might as well get the other Fuseling down as well. Yeah, this green isn't sticking. We're gonna play it all out, then swing. Because like I said, sometimes it's good practice to play things before swinging with Fuseling, since it could get a buff. Okay, get this down. I think I'm gonna go free from Flesh this turn. It's extra. It's a good chunk of extra damage, and Flamestoker gets cheaper. And so we're gonna try to draw 4 from the Flamestoker. Another green source. Kodama, power up Bankbuster, ramp on up. Nice, nice. But I'll tell you what, guys, that land comes out tapped, right? It does. So we could get extra damage here, or we could make the Flamestoker a little bit. We're gonna go extra damage. They're at 12, guys. We could do this. Mana. Full swing. Down to 6. I don't think that's the type of deck that runs board wipes. Flamestoker, and I guess we'll get the... I guess we'll start putting the oil counter on the Flamestoker if they remove a Fuseling here. Dude, they have 5 mana already. There is so much potential that they could do here. They could go wide. Oh, they do go a little bit wide. But Fuseling has trample, so they could power up Bankbuster. I'd love to draw here, but like getting a Fuseling up to 3 or 4. No, we're gonna go Flamestoker. We gotta see cards. Okay. Let's see what we see, and this does buff both of the Fuselings, so see what we see, because we could find like another Free from Flesh, which would be ridiculous. Wow. Cacophony Scamp is excellent. I think we wait a turn, right? Ah, but they could just keep going more and more wide. Another Fuseling's great. Everything seems great here. I'm gonna go Cacophony Scamp and hold off, I think. It's rough to hold off because like there's so much the opponent can do. They could like play a Titan of Industry, for example. We do have the Bloodthirsty Adversary to go Free from Flesh from the grave onto a Fuseling, which could be enough trample. We swing with this Fuseling. Yeah, just a simple block from a Forest Dryad. They could wrap up the game next turn too by dropping the new Planeswalker. I'll tell you what, man, if they drop that, the opponents have really had it today, so GG, I guess, at that point, right? Stomper? Okay. They still have 6 mana open. Cultivator, yeah, they're going wide, guys. I was worried about this, but we might still be able to get there. Awaken the Woods for another 3. Oh no. Oh no. I don't even know, guys. I don't even know where to plug this, because the Stomper can block. I guess that Fuseling over there, and then we could try to buff it further with the Bloodthirsty. I don't think we're getting through. I gotta be real with you guys. They only have 1 card in hand, though. I'm sorry, opponent, I'm thinking. Only have 1 card in hand. If we go Bloodthirsty Adversary, bring back Free from Flesh, put it on the chunky Fuseling, full swing, power up Bankbuster with Kodama. We're forcing blocks. I think we're in trouble if we don't do anything, right? So I think we do it. I think we go for it, man. We probably even wanted to do something last turn, but I think this turn, at least it looks a little bit better to try something. Get an oil counter on the Flamestoker here. Don't forget the Cacophony Scamp does a lot. Yeah, we're going, guys. We're going. Any turn, this could be over. They could drop the new Planeswalker. They could drop a Titan of Industry. They only have 1 card, but they could draw with Bankbuster. Looks like they don't want to. Wow, they are going all out here. And I didn't even count it up, so... What? Wait a minute. Really? Did we have it on the board? Really? Heck yeah, I had fun, but let me look at the battlefield. Let's see, they blocked that because it has trample. They didn't need to go 2 into Flamestoker. Cacophony Scamp was going to deal an extra. They had to chump the Bloodthirsty. So they could have... So they were taking 5 right here, but they could have went the Forest Dryad here, because they didn't have to double block Flamestoker. It doesn't have Menace, right? And they could have blocked with Stomper and taken 4. And then 5 from the Scamp. They would have lost a lot of creatures though, huh? But if they would have powered up Bankbuster for Kodama, they could have blocked Fuseling. Yeah, we technically didn't have it on the board, but we got the victory, and I'll take the victory. It feels good to win, right? So we're 39 minutes in. We could get 1 more match in, But I'm telling you guys right now, if it's going to be a longer one, then we'll just give it to the opponent. Why not, right? I think we can get a fast match in with a deck like this. So yeah, I think we'll be fine. Excuse me, guys. Literally all new cards. It's a little, like, it concerns me a little bit that there's so many new cards packed in here. Kind of feels like I drafted the deck or something, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, it's oil, so you want to get the oil stuff rolling. Oh, no cut down, nice. So turn 2 Fuseling, Reservoir, right? Loam Speaker, okay. A good example of keeping one mountain open, show them that we have oil, and then try to cheese this one through to see, because they don't want to block with Loam Speaker to lose it. Nice. Then Reservoir, get the oil counter on the Flamestoker. And there's a lot of mana in here, but like, even the last game, we only had exactly the 5 mana we needed for the Bloodthirsty, so it's going to be an Obliterator deck here to devour our soul, I guess. Let's go Fuseling. Sacrifice all of our permanents to do anything. Excuse me, guys. I apologize for having to clear my throat so much this evening. How do we get around Obliterator? I don't think... we need our one card that makes it so that way they can't block. I think we go Volt Charge on the Loam Speaker, so that way they can't ramp into a second Obliterator and they might not have a 4th mana. These Golgari Obliterator decks look terrifying, guys. They look terrifying. We could full swing and then sacrifice all of our stuff, right? So no attacks. Yeah, the way the Obliterator comes down so soon, let's go ahead and hit that Loam Speaker. I'm not really sure what we do, but it's pretty cool that we proliferate on the Facade here too. It's a lot of mana, guys. That's a lot of mana. We could get lucky and they could start swinging in, thinking that like they have enough life, and then we could get like a huge swing by finding some way to buff the Fuseling, you know? So very cool mono red deck list so far, guys. Mono red's in trouble if Obliterator becomes just a staple, which honestly, there are enough people playing this to say, uh-oh, what do we do, right? And so our 2 mana sorcery, make it so that way these can't block, actually seem pretty solid. I'm gonna go into Flamestoker here in case we in case we find more mana and want to discard our hand, right? Well, could be 3. Want to keep an open red source probably. I think we get rid of Flamestoker. Keep an open red source. Ditching our hand here is rough. But I don't know if we're gonna... I don't know if we're gonna see a way through, you know? Because if they do end up blocking with Obliterator, we just lose all of our... We have to sacrifice like all of our permanents. So a combat trick like Free from Flesh is pretty cool. But yeah. We need to find our one card. How could I make it a 1-of, guys? Oh no. We'll find it. We'll find it. We'll be fine. Let's see. We got 45 cards. 1 in 45 chance. I mean, we'll be fine. I mean, this is the type of deck that runs the fight spells too, so they're just looking for, like, anything, hit the Fuseling, have us sacrifice everything anyways. So this one's definitely the leaning towards the opponent if we can't find that card, but you never know. They might not. We still have the Volt Charge. Oh, they found a cut down. Oh, it hits a 4-1. That hurts my feelings a little bit. Hurts my feelings a little bit, because if we would have put the Reservoir counter onto that instead of the Flamestoker, we could have tapped out completely and not played the Scamp and then kept the Fuseling on the board. Another Free from Flesh is actually not terrible here. A little bit funny that needing the 5th mana to bring the Volt Charge back, but again, wouldn't do too much, would it? Having the 2 Free from Flesh, but losing the Fuseling to the cut down is rough. All right. I mean, the good news is the opponent didn't find any fight spell yet, so that's good news, I suppose. Excuse me, guys. So, whenever a source deals damage to Phyrexian Obliterator, that source's controller sacrifices that many permanents. Sacrifices a non-token creature. Oh. Well, that's not very nice. Do 1 damage to face, I suppose. They can start swinging with the Obliterator quite successfully now, but we might be able to be explosive enough. Sheoldred comes down. Oh, buddy, this Golgari deck looks disgusting. They get to pick up the Volt Charge with the Scrap Gorger. Yep, that's bad. That's bad news, guys. No Proliferate on the Forge. They're keeping blockers because they can, I guess. Oh my. We found the 5th mana, but Scrap Gorger picking up everything out of our grave. Go ahead and give an extra counter to the Forge. It's like this, like, I guess we get a 1/1 and keep the Bloodthirsty Adversary back. Could swing with the 4/1 and sacrifice a lot of stuff. We could sacrifice some land. Free from Flash, sacrifice 6 things. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I don't think we swing. Yeah, this is an awkward match. This is a very. I've heard that Obliterator causes matches like this where it's just like super awkward and no one does anything. And I'm seeing that right now. Like, a big reason to still hold back is we still have that 1/of in the deck. Make it so that way Obliterator can't block. Cut down the 1/1. Wow. It's so mean. You know what? Free from Flesh. You're safe, little buddy. You're safe. Now, unfortunately, they could pick up the Free from Flesh with the Scrap Gorger, though, so... Liliana! No! My little goblin buddy! Monster! Urabrask Forge is going to have 6 oil counters on it as of next turn, and at this point, if we don't find a way through... Okay, they're finally swinging. Okay, they finally feel safe enough. And I think they are correct to swing there for sure. Kumano. Wow, good draw. Pretty good draw. We have 5 mana. Yep, Scrap Gorger cleaned up everything from the Bloodthirsty Adversary. Can you imagine if we had Volt Charge, hit face, proliferate? Dude. Man, this deck could really have it, honestly. It really could. Like, we still have a ton of damage here. Liliana's out of here, right?
I know when I'm not
Oil counter on the Forge. We still have Bloodthirsty Adversary. And then we go... Like, look at this. Look at this. We just go all out. Like, this is insane, actually. Guys, there's something here. I don't know, man. I know I keep saying that, but, like, drop the GGs for the opponent. It's like every loss, it was like, oh yeah, if we just like did this, like, or if we just saw this instead, or if the opponent saw this different, or look at this, guys. This entire match from the opponent was played with 3 mana. Oh, that is scary business, guys. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, let's talk about this build, huh? Very explosive, so that's cool. I love how explosive. Dude, we're 50 minutes in. I apologize for the longer video, guys. I love how explosive Free from Flesh is. This card is sweet. The way it pairs with Fuseling is... it's art, guys. It's pure red deck wins art. I love it. And the extra oil counters works well with Flamestoker. I love that too. I love that you could bring stuff like Free from Flesh back with the Bloodthirsty Adversary, Volt Charge. The opponents were just scooping stuff out of my graveyard like crazy, so Adversary ended up not being as good as I thought it would be. And so, could I see dropping a couple of these and dropping down to 22 land instead? I could see that. At the same time, I like the 23 land. I like that we still have the option with the Adversary. The opponent isn't going to get that lucky every game. Like, they're not always going to be scooping stuff out of your grave, and so being able to bring back that Volt Charge, that would have won us that last game, right? Because we would have hit their face for 3, would have dropped the Proliferate, we would have got that extra counter on the Forge, would have been a huge swing with a 3/3 Adversary, and what was this at? Was it like an 8/1 or something? How much damage would that have been? Would that have been like 14 damage or so? Either way, it could have been ridiculous. I think we could successfully drop to 2 Churning Reservoir, but I also think the extra oil counters from this are pretty key, honestly. The Scamp didn't do as much as I wanted it to, so maybe we could find like a faster card here for the Scamp. At the same time, Scamp's pretty good, man, and it's going to close up games for you too. If you drop a Scamp or 2, I would consider maybe Play with Fire, but even then, maybe we just need something else for that Obliterator, which leads me to my final thought. One abandon the post. It depends what you're going up against, man. If you're seeing a lot of the Obliterators, a lot of the Vindicators, a lot of Shieldreds, a lot of Titan of Industries, everything else that is just terrible, and the opponent locks down the board state as soon as it lands, then abandon the post might be a good one. And a reason to play this over like a hammer hand is because you can bring it back with the Bloodthirsty Adversary. That's kind of the thought process there too, right? I do like this card. I like that it has flashback. We didn't get to see it today, unfortunately, but I do think that when you do see it, it will put in some work and it will help you close out some games here and there. That being said, if you are concerned about it, you could try a hammer hand or two. The extra +1/+1 from hammer hand would be pretty good on like the Cacophony Scamp and stuff, but you won't be able to bring it back with the Bloodthirsty Adversary, so it really depends what trade-off you're looking for, you know? Guys, if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions. Somehow, I think I forgot to mention the sub goal for each video this week. Hey, got a sub goal. It's set all the way up at 5,000. So if you want to help us reach that goal, then consider subscribing. It is much appreciated, friends. Yeah, we have all year to reach that goal. We set it at the beginning of 2023, and we have all year to reach it. So I believe in you guys. All right, guys. Hey, if you did make it this far, like I said, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.